Lacey played all of the games healthy, he would have finished 4 yards behind Jamal Charles for rushing yards.
That doesn't matter. He didn't play those games.
I understand, but even with that, he finished 8th. He finished in the top 5 in touchdowns.
We have to follow concussion protocol, and that Brandon Merriweather is a dirty player. Do you realize that the Green run game? The Packers have a run game.
A top 10 running game.
That doesn't mean he gets Rookie of the Year because he gets help.
We are in the playoffs because of him.
That doesn't mean he's Rookie of the Year. You could argue the same thing for Keenan Allen, though. You could argue the same thing.
Keenan Allen did not do the same thing.
Keenan Allen caught the football when it was thrown to him, but Eddie Lacy stepped up.
Oh my goodness!
No, that is not a biased pick. That is
a player who
I would take.
Keenan Allen is the offensive Rookie of the Year.
No.
It's straight up 16 catches of 20 yards or more. He had 1,000 yards.
16 catches of passes of 20. The thing for me is, once again, he runs the route. But if Phillip Rivers decides not to throw him the ball, those stats are not as good.
Well,
Eddie Lacy has to make it.
Phillip Rivers could decide not to throw the ball.
I'm sorry. Eddie Lacy, he does not have a great offensive line. He has to work for every yard. He is rushing about 4 yards per attempt. He scores. He's one of the top 10 rushers.
Top 10 rushes per attempt is not.
When you win an award, it shouldn't be because it was difficult for you to get there. It was because you were flat out the best player. Now, if there was anyone Eddie Lacy, if there was anybody Eddie Lacy would lose the offensive Rookie of the Year to, I would hope to be Keenan Allen. However, as an offensive rookie, Eddie Lacy stepped up, proved to be a leader, had the stats to back it up, led his team to the playoffs. Keenan Allen did not lead his team to the playoffs.
That's not how you pick a Rookie of the Year. You pick a Rookie of the Year as the best rookie.
Eddie Lacy was
best performance by a rookie.
Okay, let me read an article on SI.com by Peter Bukowski. By Peter Bukowski. And he said, and I agree, and this is basically what we're arguing about, it's hard to go wrong between Lacy and Keenan Allen. Lacy gets the nod because of the adversity he dealt with while still performing. Even without Aaron Rodgers for 7 games, Lacy rushed for 1,178 yards and 11 touchdowns. Second most in the league. He ended up an All-Pro. I mean, not an All-Pro, All-Pro. Second team All-Pro. Lacy wound up 5th in attempts and 8th in rushing yards, a credit to how much Green Bay leaned on him in the absence of their star quarterback. Lacy also scored 5 touchdowns in the final 4 games as the Packers went 3-1 and bounded into the playoffs.
In which he was dealing with the hamstring injury.
Exactly. You don't end up in second team All-Pro because you're not deserving of Rookie of the Year. Did Keenan Allen end up on second team All-Pro? Was he considered one of the top 4 running backs? Was he given that spot?
Keenan Allen was a receiver, so I would assume he's not one of the top 4 running backs.
Go to All-Pro. Let's go to All-Pro. The All-Pro teams.
I will look this up. All-Pro teams. Meanwhile, however, what is your pick for Kansas City, Cincinnati?
I hate to say this. I'm rooting for San Diego in this game, but Cincinnati is a better team, and they are amazing at home. Would be the best way to describe it. In the end, it's very hard for me to pick against. My gut says San Diego. My gut is wrong in this game. Cincinnati's going to win this football game, and that's just a straight up fact. But I'd like to combat a point and read something by Mel Kiper Jr. off ESPN.com.
Wait, before you do, I would like to give an answer because I did just look this up. Keenan Allen was not first team All-Pro. He was not second team All-Pro. He was not an All-Pro this year.
Well, second team All-Pro is not All-Pro. Second team All-Pro.
Okay, well, also, but look at the running backs. Let's do the 4 running backs.
Was Keenan Allen a second team All-Pro?
Was he good enough?
No, that's not okay.
Oh, really quick. Listen to the running backs that he has put in the category, second team or not. LaShawn McCoy and Jamal Charles are the people over him. There is no argument to say that Eddie Lacy could possibly be in that. The running back he was put next to...
team with Adrian
exactly.
Peterson.
He was put
Adrian
there.
Peterson was injured most of the year and had his worst year.
And he still ended up as the second...
So did Eddie Lacy.
Listen to the
Adrian
players.
Peterson had
A.J.
his
Green.
worst year as a pro.
Listen to me. A.J. Green, Demarius Thomas, Antonio Brown, Jari Evans, Logan Menkins, Alex Mack, Matt Prater, Mario Williams, Dontari Poe, Tamba Hully. Those are some pretty good players to be on a second team with. You look at the first team, that would be an honor. The first team, you are one of the best two for a running back at your position. Eddie Lacy deserved this. Keenan Allen, I appreciate your year, but it's just not. It's not the same level. It's not that he didn't face the same adversity. He didn't make an All-Pro team.
But that's saying he's the best at it. We're talking about the offensive rookie of the year, the best rookie at offense, not at being a running back, not at being not at being your best at your position. You're talking about the best player on offense, and that was Keenan Allen.
He still didn't have more yards.
If you want to argue, if Keenan Allen is not on that team, if San Diego does not play in the player,
No,
he rejuvenated Phillip Rivers. He led that team.
No, he didn't. A wide receiver can't rejuvenate a quarterback. A quarterback rejuvenates a
okay.
The quarterback's the one who throws the ball.
I want to just ask you something. Are you saying that 2 years ago, Calvin Johnson... Okay, are you saying that... What was it? 3 years. Calvin Johnson makes that Detroit at least 2 wins greater, probably. Correct? Would you say that?
Yeah, okay.
If you're trying to compare Keenan Allen to Calvin Johnson, I should...
I'm not. I'm trying to say a wide receiver can have some impact, because it seems like you don't think that.
Oh, I think they can
I'm
have
trying
a
to say that a wide
massive
receiver
impact.
does not change a
But not
team.
when it's Keenan Allen. Calvin Johnson's impact on a team. It is a disrespect to Megatron to even put him in the same sentence. That's how I feel about comparing those.
Okay, and another thing. Keenan Allen, great. You know, I think he had a phenomenal year. I think he has a phenomenal prospect, a great wide receiver. He will continue to play great, and no disrespect to him. I honestly, look, a running back, normally you'd say they need a good offensive line to win. To be a good running back, you need a good offensive line. Well, I'm sorry, the Packers' offensive line, I don't call it good. He did not have a great offensive line. He worked for every single yard he got. And I agree, Keenan Allen did too, but he has a better... When it comes to wide receivers, the number one thing for them is their blocking, the pass blocking, and the throwing. And...
Yeah.
Wait,
are you saying
that San Diego, the most important thing for a wide receiver
is their quarterback and their
blocking?
blocking. Exactly. And Eddie Lacy, he has to count on his quarterback's ability to do a play fake. He has to be able to count the running game, where that the wide receivers will block for him when he goes outside, that the center, that the tackles, that the guards are all on the same page, that they will execute their tackles correctly. And
Wait,
then
are you saying that a running back doesn't need the center?
The
I
most
said they
important
do.
thing for a wide receiver is to catch the ball. That's the most important thing. I mean, blocking is important, but when you are a receiver, your main job is to receive. I mean, it's in the job title.
Okay, I'm just taking like all of the things for example. And so catching, the quarterback being able to throw you the ball when you're open, and then of course, I mean blocking, you can say is lower down there, but a running back accounts for a lot of things too. It is very reliant on a lot of the players around him, and the offensive line of the Packers isn't good. And Jake, I know you can agree with me that it's not the offensive line that a running back wants to have. And he did a lot with a subpar offensive line.
I think there's a way to win this debate, it's to say that Eddie Lacy had a bigger impact on his team.
But that's not the best rookie of the year, is it? Tell me, is that rookie of the year, though? We're talking about the rookie of the year. We're not talking about impact player.
Was a leader on his team, and considering all things, if you weigh everything together, Eddie, I believe he was more efficient, and I think that there was a certain disadvantage that comes with being a wide receiver in that you can't have the impact and the momentum.
All right, I want to tell you something. The last time who won this award was Adrian Peterson when he was second in the league in rushing yards.
Wouldn't it be fitting that Eddie Lacy is right next to him on the All-Pro team and then he ends up winning?
It's too perfect. The football gods want it to happen.
I'm sorry, but he's not the numbers that were put up there. All right, now I'm going to go to 09 because I know this would shoot me in the foot. I promise you, this would shoot me in the foot. Percy Harvin was the last wide receiver.
Dude, you're giving me a migraine mentioning Percy Harvin.
Look how Percy Harvin ended up.
Percy Harvin won the award, not even being the top receiver on his team.
But Keenan Allen was the top receiver. So what's
yes,
the correlation
Keenan Allen was
there?
the top receiver. Keenan Allen made Phillip Rivers rejuvenate. He brought his career back from the dead.
Phillip Rivers, if you are listening, I would like to apologize. Your career has the only impact on your career is your offensive line, and if you are locked in. I'm sure it's more comforting if there are good targets out there, but just because you're a bigger target than others doesn't mean that determines your career. So, Mr. Rivers, I apologize. I believe that Mr. Keenan Allen is a fantastic player. If Eddie Lacy were to not win Offensive Rookie of the Year, I would be glad for it to go to Keenan Allen. But I still disagree with the notion, unless you are one of the greatest of all time, that a wide receiver cannot rejuvenate a quarterback's career.
Okay. All right, I want to read something, and I'm going to read this because I wanted to read it earlier, and you cut me off. This is from Mel Kiper Jr. on ESPN. He picks Keenan Allen as his Offensive Rookie of the Year. He just says, don't just look at what Allen did. Look at what his quarterback did. At age 32, Phillip Rivers just put together the best season of his career in terms of accuracy and efficiency, and Allen was a big part of that rebound. Allen had 71 catches, led the Chargers in receiving yardage with 1,046, and tied for the team leading touchdown catches with 8. He had just 5 drop passes on 105 targets. He dropped down the draft boards. Talk about adversity. He dropped down draft boards because of it.
Eddie Lacy was a late second rounder.
No, Keenan Allen was a third rounder.
No, but if you're talking about sliding down draft boards more, it was absolutely Eddie Lacy.
Are you kidding me? Keenan Allen was a top 30 prospect.
So when you hit the late second round, the question was not when is Keenan Allen going to be selected. The question is who is Eddie Lacy going to go to?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it absolutely was.
Keenan Allen was because of speed and health.
Oh my god.
He dropped because of speed and health. And first of all, you go on Bleacher Report, the best offensive rookie, not who performed the best stat-wise, was Larry Warford of the Detroit Lions, the right guard. He was the best. But he's going to his offensive linemen don't win. Running backs don't win that much. Wide receivers, Percy Harvin won, but
quarterbacks win this award.
Exactly, but there are no quarterbacks this year. So
yeah, exactly.
The conversation about the running back can't win.
Why do Carl, I have a question for you. Why do you think quarterbacks always win this award? Just in one sentence. Well, why do
quarterbacks win this award? Not because they quote unquote carry their teams on their backs.
Okay.
So then why do
Here's why.
They are the most productive on their team.
This is why I think it's because they control the team. They are the point guards of the team. A lot of the plays, audibles, checkdowns.
The point guard of argument. No, don't compare quarterback to point guard.
I will compare.
Quarterback is the most important position in sports. No matter what you say.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm not saying that they're equally as important as a point guard. I'm just saying that they are kind of like that. They are the floor general.
They are the most important position.
Yes, I agree with that.
At the end of the day, let's just be thankful that we're not Longhorns fans, and now that we have to deal with Charlie Strong as our coach, we are looking halfway through predictions, and we have to move forward.
Jake, you need to answer my question. What's your issue with Charlie Strong?
If you were a Texas fan, you're expecting for Art Briles, or Jim Mora, or John Gruden, or Nick Saban, and you find out that no, you're stuck with Strong. you'd be a little disappointed.
Charlie Strong's a great coach. I think Charlie
Strong
Strong is the best decision. He's a
not
football coach who knows how to turn a program around.
tiring.
I like Charlie Strong. Personally, and
I like Charlie Strong.
I'm
I like
considering
Strong
going to
too.
Texas.
I
I
like
would.
Strong.
I don't understand why you're saying
options.
this.
I like Charlie Strong. However, I feel like it must be disappointing for the Longhorns, considering the expectations and the money.
No,
Remember,
this is
look
not-
what he did with this team. Look what he did.